There's a certain kind of man who always looks put together. Not flashy, not trendy, not trying too hard. Just quietly, consistently well-dressed in a way that commands respect without demanding attention. And then there's everyone else, men who look fine, maybe even good, but never quite reach that level of effortless polish. That the difference usually isn't money, it's not even taste, it's awareness. Most men over 40 are making mistakes they don't even realize are mistakes. Small choices that seem harmless, or even smart, but that quietly undermine how they're perceived. These aren't fashion crimes. They're subtle signals that tell the world you're not fully in control of your image. The good news is they're easy to fix. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. And once you eliminate them, everything else starts working harder for you. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 unattractive fashion mistakes that most men over 40 make, and showing you exactly what to do instead. These aren't opinions. These are patterns I've seen over and over again that separate the men who look distinguished from the men who just look fine. Everything I mentioned is linked below. Let's get into it. 1. Flashy logos. Nothing ages a man faster than a giant logo across his chest. It doesn't matter if it's Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or any other brand. When the logo is the focal point, the clothes are doing the talking instead of you. And what they're saying isn't flattering. It signals that you need the brand to validate you, that you're paying for status instead of substance, that you want people to know how much you spent more than you want them to notice how good you look. The most well-dressed men understand that real quality doesn't need to announce itself. If you know, you know. And if you don't, a logo won't convince anyone. In fact, the loudest logos often appear on the lowest quality pieces. Entry-level items designed to sell the brand name to people who can't afford the actual craftsmanship. This doesn't mean avoiding designer brands entirely, it means choosing pieces where the craftsmanship speaks louder than the branding. A beautifully made jacket in quality wool, a shirt with perfect stitching and natural fabric, shoes that feel substantial the moment you put them on. These things communicate quality to anyone paying attention, without broadcasting to everyone who isn't. The trick is confidence without broadcast. Let the fit, the fabric, and the construction do the work. When your clothes are genuinely well made, they communicate quality without saying a word. The right people notice. The wrong people don't need to. The Sunspell Riviera Polo is exactly this. Clean, minimal, no branding. Just premium cotton and perfect proportions. It says everything by saying nothing. When you stop wearing logos, you start wearing clothes. And speaking of things that don't age well on your clothes, let's talk about trends. 2. Overly trendy items. Trends are designed to make you feel behind. That's the business model. Every season, something new becomes essential, and last season's essential becomes dated. If you're chasing that cycle at 40, you'll always be one step behind, wearing things that felt current 6 months ago and will feel embarrassing 6 months from now. The men who always look good aren't following trends. They're ignoring them. This doesn't mean dressing like it's 1995. It means choosing pieces that have already proven themselves over time. A navy blazer, dark, well-fitted denim, quality leather shoes, a cashmere crew neck. These things looked good 20 years ago and they'll look good 20 years from now. The trick is to stop asking what's in and start asking what's timeless. If you can't imagine wearing something in 5 years without cringing, don't buy it now. Build your wardrobe around pieces that don't expire. Add subtle updates through texture, color, and quality, not through silhouette experiments or statement pieces you saw on a runway. The Todd Snyder Italian wool flannel shirt hits this balance perfectly. Classic shape, elevated fabric, zero trend chasing. Timeless beats trendy every single time. But timeless pieces still need to be made of the right stuff. 3. Synthetic fabrics. Cheap fabric looks cheap. There's no way around it. Polyester, acrylic, nylon blends, they don't drape correctly, they don't breathe. They shine in unflattering ways under light. They trap heat and smell. And no matter how good the design is, they always feel like what they are, a compromise. Natural fabrics behave differently. Wool has body and structure. Linen relaxes beautifully and develops character with wear. Cotton breathes and softens over time. Cashmere feels like what it costs. Silk has movement that synthetics can't replicate. These materials don't just look better, they feel better, and that changes how you carry yourself. The trick is simple, check the label. If it's more than 30% synthetic, think twice. The best pieces are 100% natural or close to it. Yes, they cost more up front, but they also last longer, age better, and make everything else in your outfit look more elevated. A cheap synthetic shirt drags down an expensive jacket. A quality cotton shirt elevates a budget blazer. This is one of those areas where spending more actually saves money. A quality wool sweater lasts years and looks better each season. A synthetic one pills after 3 washes and ends up in a donation bin. Over a decade, you'll spend less buying fewer, better pieces than constantly replacing disposable ones. The Land's End. Cashmere sweater is pure cashmere and the kind of piece you'll reach for the next decade. It costs more than a synthetic alternative, but it's also the last crew neck you'll need to buy. Upgrade your fabrics, and everything else follows. Now let's talk about what you're doing with those fabrics. 4. Loud colors and prints. The louder your clothes, the less people see you. Neon greens, electric blues, bold animal prints, oversized florals. These pieces grab attention, but not the right kind. They dominate the room before you've said a word, and they make it impossible for anyone to focus on who's actually wearing them. You become the guy in the loud shirt instead of just you. There's also a practicality issue. Loud pieces are hard to repeat. Wear that Hawaiian print twice in 1 week and people notice. Wear it 3 times and they assume it's your only shirt. But a navy blazer? You can wear that every day and no one thinks twice. The most commanding men dress in a tight palette. Navy, charcoal, brown, cream, black, olive. These colors don't compete for attention. They create a cohesive canvas that lets your presence do the work. They're memorable for how you look, not for what you're wearing. This doesn't mean boring. It means intentional. Within a muted palette, you can create enormous visual interest through texture, layering, and proportion. A charcoal flannel jacket over a cream knit with navy trousers has depth and sophistication, without a single loud element. If you want pattern, keep it classic. Pinstripes, houndstooth, window pane, subtle checks. These add visual interest without overwhelming. They've stood the test of time because they work. The Bruno Magli Quarter Zip Merino sweater in burgundy is exactly this. Rich, textured, and versatile enough to anchor any outfit without shouting. Quiet colors speak loudest, but even the right colors can go wrong if you push too hard. 5. Trying too hard. There's a line between well-dressed and overdressed. Most men over 40 who cross it don't realize they've crossed it. Shirts unbuttoned too low. Pants too tight. Too many accessories competing for attention. Clothes that scream, "Look at me," instead of quietly commanding respect. This energy reads as insecurity, like you're trying to prove something instead of simply being something. The goal isn't to disappear, it's to look effortless, like you put thought into your clothes but didn't overthink them, like you care about quality but aren't obsessed with attention. The trick is restraint. If you're questioning whether something is too much, it probably is. 1 statement piece per outfit, maximum. Everything else supports, it doesn't compete. Fit matters here too. Your clothes should follow your body without clinging to it. Slim, not tight. Tailored, not restrictive. You want to look put together, not vacuum sealed. The Buck Mason Pima curved hem tee does this well. Elevated basics that fit properly without trying too hard. Confidence is quiet. Let your clothes reflect that. And that goes double for what you put on top of them. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe. I put out videos every week on dressing well after 40, and the more subscribers we get, the more men find this content. And yes, everything I've mentioned is linked below. Let's keep going. 6. Flashy accessories. Accessories should finish an outfit, not start a conversation. Chunky chains, oversized watches, stacked bracelets on both wrists, statement rings on multiple fingers. This approach works for rock stars and rappers, but for most men over 40, it just looks like overcompensation and it reads as trying to add personality through objects instead of having it naturally. There's also a practical problem. The more accessories you wear, the harder they are to coordinate. Mixing metals, competing for attention, clashing with the rest of your outfit, it's a lot to manage. And when it goes wrong, it goes very wrong. The men who get accessories right follow a simple rule. Less is more, and what's there should match. 1 good watch, 1 quality belt, maybe a simple bracelet if it's meaningful. Sunglasses that complement your face without dominating it. That's it. Everything in the same tonal family. Silver with silver, gold with gold, brown leather with brown leather. Cohesion, not competition. The trick is intentionality. Each piece should have a reason for being there. If you can't explain why you're wearing something, you probably shouldn't be wearing it. Accessories aren't decoration. They're the finishing touches that complete a thought. Think of them like punctuation. A period ends a sentence cleanly. An exclamation point adds emphasis when needed. But a sentence full of exclamation points just looks desperate. The Faherty leather belt is a perfect example. Handmade, understated, and designed to complement rather than compete. It does its job without asking for attention. When accessories whisper, people listen. Now here's the mistake that undoes all the others. 7. Ill-fitting clothes. This is the mistake that undoes everything else. You can buy the best brands, choose the right colors, avoid every other mistake on this list, and still look mediocre if your clothes don't fit. Conversely, you can wear relatively inexpensive pieces and look exceptional if the fit is dialed in. Fit is the multiplier. It makes good clothes great and bad clothes unwearable. The shoulders of your jacket should end at your actual shoulder, not an inch beyond, not pulling tight. Your trousers should sit at your natural waist, not your hips, and break cleanly at the shoe. Your shirts should follow your torso without billowing or pulling at the buttons. Sleeves should hit at the right point on your wrist, showing a sliver of shirt cuff beneath your jacket. Most men don't know what proper fit feels like because they've never experienced it. They've been wearing things slightly too big or slightly too tight their entire lives, assuming that's just how clothes work. The trick is tailoring. Even off-the-rack pieces can be adjusted to fit your specific body. Find a good local tailor and build a relationship. Hemming trousers, tapering shirts, adjusting jacket sleeves, bringing in the waist on a blazer. These small changes transform how clothes look on you. A $200 suit that's been tailored will outperform a $2,000 suit that doesn't fit. This is the single highest return investment you can make in your wardrobe. Not a new jacket, not better shoes, just making sure what you already own actually fits. The Reese puppy tooth wool trousers are already cut well, but a quick hem adjustment makes them look custom. That's the baseline. Start with quality, then dial it in. Fit isn't optional, it's the foundation. But fit isn't just about clothes, it extends above the collar too. 8. Overdone grooming. Your hair and grooming should look intentional, not labored. Overstyled hair that's shellacked into place. Too much product creating an unnatural shine. Overly manicured facial hair with razor-sharp lines. These choices signal that you're trying too hard. And worse, they often read as insecurity about aging. The most attractive grooming is the kind that looks natural. Hair that has movement and texture. A beard or stubble that's maintained but not architectural. Skin that looks healthy, not painted. The trick is maintenance without performance. Take care of yourself, but don't make it look like a project. A good haircut that works with your natural texture. Quality products used sparingly. Skincare kits like the Marini system also keep you looking fresh without being obvious. This gets more important as you age, not less. The goal is to look like the best version of yourself, not like you're fighting against time. Keep it simple. Keep it natural. Let your grooming support your overall presence rather than trying to carry it. Clean and effortless always beats overdone. Now let's talk about the 2 wardrobe defaults that are dragging you down. 9. The blue shirt. Every man owns a blue dress shirt. That's the problem. It's become the default, the safe choice, the thing you grab when you don't know what else to wear. And because everyone does this, blue shirts have become invisible. Background noise that says nothing about who you are. Walk into any office, any business casual event, any dress-to-impress situation, you'll see a sea of light blue shirts. They've become the uniform of men who aren't really thinking about what they wear. Safe, forgettable, interchangeable. There's nothing wrong with blue shirts in theory. The color works for most skin tones. It's professional. It's easy. But when every man at every meeting in every office is wearing the same thing, you blend into the crowd instead of standing out from it. The trick is to expand your shirt palette beyond the obvious. White is actually more versatile and looks crisper. There's a reason it's the foundation of formal dress. Cream and ecru read warmer and more sophisticated, especially under a navy blazer. Pale pink has become a modern staple that most men still avoid out of unfounded fear. Light gray offers something different without being risky. Even a soft sage or dusty blue-green creates interest. You don't have to abandon blue entirely, but if it's your automatic choice, you're not making a choice at all. You're just following the crowd. And following the crowd is the opposite of style. The white linen shirt by Buggy is the kind of elevated alternative that actually makes a statement. Cleaner, sharper, and far more intentional than another blue button-down from the same rotation. Stop defaulting. Start choosing. And while we're on defaults, let's talk about one below the waistline. Decimo Beige Chinos. Beige Chinos are the khaki cargo shorts of dress pants. They're inoffensive, they're safe, they go with everything, which is exactly the problem. When something goes with everything, it stands for nothing. Beige Chinos have become so ubiquitous, so expected, that wearing them is basically the same as not making a decision at all. Every office, every casual Friday, every smart casual event is filled with men in beige chinos. They've become the uniform of playing it safe, which is the opposite of dressing well. When you wear beige chinos, you look like everyone else who didn't think about what to wear. And here's the thing most men don't realize. Beige isn't even that flattering. It washes out a lot of skin tones. It shows every wrinkle and stain. It photographs poorly. It makes your lower half look heavier than it is. There's a reason well-dressed men rarely reach for it. The fix isn't complicated. Charcoal trousers are more flattering and more versatile than beige. They create better contrast with almost any shirt or jacket. Navy works in almost any context and reads more refined. Olive and dark brown add richness without risk. Even a deeper tan or tobacco shade has more presence than standard beige. The trick is intention. Choose a trouser color that does something for your outfit instead of just existing in it. Darker shades are more slimming, more sophisticated, and more memorable. They photograph better, wrinkle less visibly, and create stronger visual anchors. The Luca Filoni wool flannel trousers in charcoal are what beige chinos wish they were. Refined, intentional, and impossible to ignore. Retire the beige. Here's the thing about all 10 of these mistakes. None of them are catastrophic on their own. Wearing a logo doesn't ruin your life. A blue shirt won't tank your career. Beige chinos are perfectly functional pants. But together, these small choices add up. They signal that you're on autopilot, that you're not thinking carefully about how you present yourself to the world. And in a world where first impressions matter, that signal costs you. The good news is the opposite is also true. When you start making intentional choices, when you eliminate the defaults and the shortcuts and the good enough options, people notice. Not because you're louder, because you're more coherent, more considered, more in control. That's what great style actually is. Signal control. Every choice working together to tell the story you want to tell. Everything I mentioned is linked below. If you found this valuable, subscribe. I put out new videos every week on dressing well after 40. Check out the video on screen for the best next step. Keep refining. I'll see you in the next one.